thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome to ANN7 First Fast Live. We are at the Nasrec Expo Centre where day 5 of the ANC Policy Conference has unfolded this morning. Still continuing with debate and discussion on various topics here at the Nasrec Expo Centre. Good afternoon. I'm Abigail Fasaki.
And I am Phumulo Masualle, and today we are joined by the Eastern Cape Premier, Mr. Phumulo Masualle. Mr. Masualle, just starting firstly, there's this dichotomy between radical economic transformation and inclusive growth. 1 minute we're sitting through the business breakfast, we're hearing about inclusive growth. The next, after your commissions, we hear of radical economic transformation. I would think that causes a lot of anxiety amongst South Africans. What do you have to say to that? Are you finding yourselves any closer to one policy?
Well, I do not think that there is a dichotomy per se. Perhaps it could be terminology, because there isn't one without the other. We need radical economic transformation, and that radical economic transformation ought to be inclusive. And to me, those two are one of the same sides, two sides of the same coin, so to speak.
Okay. Talking about radical transformation, there are certain reports suggesting that the Radical Transformation Committee was flooded by certain individuals making specific demands. Are you aware of any such activity?
No, absolutely not. But all I can attest is the fact that always the Commission on Economic Transformation always elicits a lot of interest. There would be many people who would participate in that. It dates back a long time. It's not only this time around. In the NGC, we had in the policy conference we had last in Durban. It's always been like that. It's an area where there is fierce contestation of ideas. As would be expected. It's about really the life and death of many of us. So it's an important area of debate.
Now, taking you back to the earlier question where you say there is no dichotomy. Now, we heard earlier today Stephen Kosef speaking, or rather raising concern against the mining charter as well as the public protector's recommendations to change the mandate of the South African Reserve Bank. Now, with that said, the intention for the change of that mandate was to assist the socio-economic welfare of the marginalized. So with that said, some could say we're seeing business being more anti-transformation in that respect, but you're saying there is not one without the other. So what would you say to Stephen's comments from this morning, at least?
It would be expected. I think that depending on where you are positioned in the ladder in society, you would see things in a particular way. But truly from the point of view of the majority, who need to the government of the ANC to, through the policies it champions, that they can also have their place in the sun, we would actually be leaning a great deal towards those, without excluding, though, the other concerns. But it should be in how we bring them together so that there could be somewhat of coexistence so that the economy can be a successful venture. It would require the input from all, but it should also accommodate the majority.